that is the firing story. So also, I don't know if it's a little clickbaity if I was like fired or not, because like it was just like I planned on quitting, but I thought that there was gonna be she was supposed to reach out to me basically. She said she'd get back to me on a date and then never did. So like because I was just removed like that with no anything, I guess it was like I was fired.
So something really strange just happened like 30 minutes ago, and it's really fueling the reason why I'm making this video. The entire point of this video is that this is going to be a little introduction of the series that is coming up, and so I am going to start a Making It series. I don't know if that's the actual title I will be going with. So anyways, the point of the series is I've mentioned before that I really want to work in film and media, and the reality is making it in that industry is just impossible. Whether it's YouTube, I've literally been going at it for 4 years and it hasn't really like picked up. I feel like there's a lot of people, especially in the LA area, that want to work in this industry, and it's just tough. Fortunately, I have had 2 experiences with the industry, and I'm not going to talk about either because privacy reasons. Yeah, they were both really, really great opportunities. One is already passed, and one is ongoing. So the point is I am going to end my Unemployed Diaries. I didn't think that this deserved an announcement. It's just I kind of want to introduce the next series that will be coming up. And yeah, this is going to be the first of the series, so like if the series ever picks up in the future, they can come back and refer to this video to see like what it's actually going to be about. And honestly, I just really kind of wanted to yap right now, so that's kind of why I also ended up making an intro video. It's definitely something I was thinking about, but I guess now I'm like verbally saying it somewhere in case anyone ever needed this clarification like ever. Okay, so the main reason I started Unemployed Diaries was because I wanted to take a negative part of my life and turn it positive. Yeah, I was really unhappy being unemployed. I was unemployed from like, it's kind of complicated. It's technically March to, what time is it now? March to around August, I think, which is a 5 months total. But it's also weird because I didn't have like enough income to like sustain myself and pay rent. But I was working as a freelance photographer and was actually super busy with that. And technically school was still in session because I graduated early. I graduated winter quarter, but spring quarter, yeah, I was still a college student even though I wasn't taking classes because I was spending time at UCLA. I was like with people. I was doing like intramural volleyball. And yeah, so I was still pretty busy up until like May, and then June. When June hit, it was grad season, so there was a lot going on there with walking, friends coming, family coming, visiting a friend for her graduation ceremony, so June was also busy. And so ultimately, I was probably really only doing nothing, unemployed, depressed, out of my mind for maybe like 2 to 3 months. Back to the point, I am ending Unemployed Diaries because I am technically not unemployed anymore, and I think that's kind of the main reason. My roommate did tell this to me, and I think that really just clicked when she said it, because for me, I was gonna do Unemployed Diaries until I get like a real, like, what's it called? Full-time job, or I'm like stable in my position, which also could be never, if I'm being honest, because yeah, creative work, I feel like it just comes in waves. And so when she said that again, I think I just kept thinking about it. I was like, you're so right. Yeah, I think I'm just not going to brand it unemployed anymore. I think unemployed also was kind of like my buzz word because I wanted to pick up and things like that. And I think now that I'm actually seeing like the end, by the end it's just like I'm going to be monetized soon, and so I feel like that's what I was chasing after for a while, and so I was going with the buzzword of unemployed because I really wanted to blow up, and then once I blew up I would do the things I want. But now that I'm actually working in the industry and I have that position, I started this industry not caring about money. So this definitely had me thinking a lot about my own content and what I want to make. And the thing is, I do want to create things. I do want to do this for a really long time. I do like unemployed in terms of the buzzword, but it's just a little downer for me. Like, why? I feel like it's going to attract a very negative energy, and I'm starting to think that that's not what I want, even though it is the buzzword. Because yeah, I want to start doing things that I want and not for the people, this is going to be in my YouTube advice thing. But yeah, one reason that I know I'm not going to be as successful, maybe quicker, is because my refusal to do things that will be popular. I think I was bending a little bit to try to, increased popularity, but I think I'm over it now. So yes, I am now going to try to rebrand it Making It Diaries, because I think it'd be really interesting sharing my process. This is definitely something that I think is really interesting.
Hello, I'm just popping in because I am so incoherent in this video that I have had to edit out so much stuff. I filmed that the day that this entire situation happened, and what's funny is I don't tell the story, so you're gonna have to have me pop in later to actually tell the story. But right now, it's just so frustrating watching myself talk. Basically, my point is that I'm doing the Making It Diaries because I want to show you the like failure side of it, because the film and media industry is definitely very glamorous, but it's only glamorous for the few. So I'm gonna show you, like, my goal is to just be realistic about life. Like, I think social media tends to over glorify things, and I think we need to normalize not being like rich, successful, hot, and, you know, happy with it, you know? And even if I'm not happy in the moment, at least we'll show you the process of me becoming happy and successful and rich and hot. Or, yeah, whatever else.
To now talk about my jobs. Basically, I mentioned that I was unemployed for a while, and so the very first thing that happened was that I interviewed at a creative agency. It was a startup. I literally found it off LinkedIn, and yeah, they just reached out and I interviewed, and they gave me the job during the interview, basically. And she was just like, yeah, we like you, seemed like a good fit, and I started that. The issue with this is that in a way, I kind of didn't want to do it. So it's actually a $400 stipend, and it was for around 10 hours a week, which was actually pretty accurate. There are some that say that and probably make you do more, but 400 is a lot, because I once did one for 200, and yeah, doing unpaid internships suck. I just don't want to hate on that first internship experience of mine, because ultimately I just had nothing going for me. I wasn't qualified for that experience at all, and I was really I'm honestly just so grateful to have the opportunity, because I just know how hard it is in this industry, especially because like I had that experience, and getting my second experience was really difficult. And I do think that first experience is the reason I landed the second, and the second was also very difficult to get. So yeah, my entire point was just to not hate on my first internship experience, because I think of that time really fondly, even though I do wish it was paid. But anyway, so yes, creative agency, it was a $400 stipend, it was 10 hours a week, but obviously it's just like, So anyways, I get that, and then I start the following week. So late August, I already have that. And actually during this process, I had applied to work with a YouTuber, and this is actually a really valuable experience. The thing is, I ended up interviewing and then eventually getting it, which I feel like I could make an entire separate video on this. Basically, when I first applied, I didn't think I was gonna get it, because it sounded like they wanted someone with a lot more experience than me. And again, I've only had that one experience in the industry, and I felt that it wasn't relevant to this new job that I was applying for. But yeah, I ended up passing the screening, because that was like the resume drop. I ended up getting offered an interview, but the interview came with an assessment. And so I did the assessment, and I did the interview, and I ended up getting it. But anyways, I landed the thing with the YouTuber, and that, again, I don't know if I mentioned, but in terms of pay, it's contract work and is not enough for what I need to pay rent. So then I found my third part-time job, and the thing is, I really should have just gotten a minimum wage job sooner at that moment. But honestly, things just kind of happened for a reason, because back then I was thinking I would work at a grocery store. I was mainly thinking Trader Joe's, because in terms of money I spend, the biggest thing I spend money on besides rent is food. So I thought if I work at a grocery store, then I can reduce my expenses. And then obviously I'd be paying off my rent through working at Trader Joe's. But what ended up happening is that Trader Joe's rejected me, and I moved to a new area, because that was really my main excuse. I was waiting to move to a new area. So we moved over in August, as you see with my apartment hunting video. Anyways, I was just like looking at all these like fast food places, and I was just kind of like, I don't really want to do this, you know? And genuinely none of them seemed good. So at this point I was like, okay, if location isn't the real thing that I'm like thinking in a job, like what else should I do? I thought about like what skill set I need, because I needed to be flexible for my second job. The YouTuber is the most important thing that I was doing. So the third one only was just to pay rent, and I want to make as much money as possible with the least amount of time. So I started looking up side hustles, and then I got back to this idea that like you can sell your skills. And so one thing was like I was thinking about going door to door to like the restaurants in my neighborhood and like offering them social media services, which to be honest, I don't know if that would work. And maybe that's still a good income thing that I should try that I'm just too lazy to. I ended up giving up on completely closing the chapter on that. And I was like, you know, tennis, because tennis is an expensive sport. And LA is also a expensive place to be. So whatever lessons were charged back in my hometown, which was a small town, it's going to be more than that was my thought. So I was like, I can make a lot of money if I do tennis. And so I ended up finding a tennis job, and I ended up applying for tennis jobs on Indeed, which is a new site, because I was tending to use LinkedIn to like find jobs and then go through company websites and just directly look up companies that I like and doing research about that. I can do an entire separate video on like how I job hunt, except it's just not very helpful, I think, because I didn't get my job that way. So then I started thinking about tennis because I love tennis. I played tennis in high school. I taught tennis as well while I was in high school. So anyways, this all started because I started thinking to myself, what skills can I sell? This is when I was looking up side hustles, you know, and tennis is a skill I have. I played 10 years. Okay, 10 years is a little drastic because it was on and off. I really only played super seriously maybe like 5-ish years because I took private lessons when I was like in middle school, and in high school I more or less am not a beginner at the very least. I'm definitely not college level tennis rating. I ended up looking specifically for tennis jobs because I was like, I would want to be surrounded by tennis, and one of them reached out, and actually at this time I had already gotten a job offer from a YouTuber. But anyways, so I was looking up tennis gigs, and then I ended up finding one. I honestly was about to not interview because I was just like, is it worth it? Because it was about like, it's like 8 miles on the freeway, and that can feel kind of far in terms of gas money. But you know what, with no traffic, it's actually only like 10 to 15 minutes, which isn't bad, especially in LA. And so I was like, you know what, it's not like I have anything else. Like I could just do this for a little bit and quit if I need to, which is also weird of me to say because I am so bad at quitting anything, which is why I'm gonna lead into the story that I will be talking about soon. I ended up interviewing, even though I almost thought I wasn't going to, because it was like for a minimum wage, like running the shop itself and not teaching tennis lessons, and that was kind of not what I wanted to do. It ends up working out. But anyways, so I go interview, and the people are just so nice, and I like the area, and I asked if I could start teaching tennis, and they said that that was definitely a possibility. And I was like, oh, I honestly thought that I wasn't going to be able to, but now that I can, like, here I am. And so anyways, I ended up starting there, and so yeah, I do work at the shop, and that just means restocking, checking in guests, and like other people are playing tennis basically, and I'm just there. But honestly, I still like the energy. Like I like people that play tennis, and there is a potential to start teaching lessons, which is actually sounds like what I'm getting into. But the thing that why I love this job so much is, as I mentioned, the YouTuber is not paying me enough for my rent, and actually there is a lot of responsibility with it. And yeah, I would not say I'm getting paid as much as I would like to, but I also do not want to diminish this experience whatsoever because it is so valuable. There are so many things that I'm gaining from this that aren't money, and obviously I wish I was getting paid, but it's just such a valuable experience and opportunity that I'm so grateful to have it. Honestly, I would have applied for this job and accepted it even if it were completely unpaid, which it isn't. Yeah, I know I would have applied for this anyways because it's in the right industry, and we're getting close spread out here. But anyways, so my point on that is that because the shop itself is so slow, I've been doing other work. So in a way, I'm getting paid the minimum wage hourly to do my other work with the YouTuber, which has ended up really working out because now the YouTuber doesn't have to pay me more money. So now the minimum wage part doesn't bother me at all, because if I'm able to do other work, then who am I to complain that it's minimum wage? Like, I do not mind at all whatsoever right now. The people are really nice to me, and it actually has AC. I mentioned before, my current apartment does not have AC. So I get to be in an air-conditioned place, and I get to do other work, and I'm surrounded by really cool, nice people. So it's a win for me. It's actually my favorite thing that I'm doing right now. I really wanted, this is like the main reason I want to start this series about how funny things are, is that the creative agency was the very first thing that I got, And I was so grateful. I don't know if I was so grateful to have it back then, because once I heard it was a stipend, it was a little bit like a throwaway. I was like, do I care that much? I don't really. And then once I got it, I was like happy because the interviewer was really sweet, and I still think she's really sweet. The thing is, the time commitment that they want is just not what I'm able to do. So I just got off a call and I'm being let go from the creative agency. In a way, I'm getting fired, I guess, but it's an internship and it's like unpaid. So this is just a really funny thing to me right now, and maybe it's just because I'm still in the middle of processing it and I'm now processing it on camera. But basically what happened is we hopped on this call and she kind of just told me that I wasn't taking initiative, and I admitted that, like, if I'm being honest, I'm so busy with my second job, which is the YouTuber, and then my third job, which is tennis, which I just started. And the thing is, these two both pay more than what I'm doing with the creative agency. Obviously, the creative agency is way less hours, but in terms of paying rent, this is my least priority. It's not in the right industry and it's not paying my rent, you know, and I need to pay my rent. Honestly, I've been pretty neglectful and I admit that. I've only been doing what is assigned and I'm not taking initiative, and a little bit of it is I am doing some work last minute because there is no clear deadline. She'd ask about it and I'd be like, okay, I have it done now. And then basically I hopped on this call, and originally she had said she was gonna send something over and then didn't. And so we hopped on this call and then she asked me what I was supposed to have done, and I was like, oh, you were supposed to have sent me something to do. And then she never did and I never followed up. And she said she was like trying to see if I was able to take more initiative, and then she asked me going forward because she just thought I need to improve in terms of taking the initiative. And she asked me if I could improve on that and then we can keep moving forward. But then here I was being honest and I was kind of like, I wanted to quit a little bit. Not a little bit, I wanted to quit already. Just, I got the second YouTuber job and then starting tennis. It's just, I genuinely didn't see that this creative agency was helping in terms of my career direction. And so combined with the fact that it was unpaid, I just felt like I didn't want to take initiative. I didn't see the purpose.
Alrighty, popping back in again to explain real quick the end of the story because I kind of cut off. I did not actually tell her any of that, like, word for word. Basically, what I ended up telling her was that it was going to be tough for me to take initiative because at the moment I'm busy with other things and I'm starting to think that the creative agency doesn't align with my career goals. And I told her, if there's work you need me to get done, I will do it and I will finish off the internship, because there was like a 3-month period. So I was thinking that I would just suck it up and just do the work for the 3 months because I signed a contract that was the plan. So I told her this, that like, I will do the work that you need me to do, but I will not take initiative. And like, yeah, I'm just not going to ask her for more work. Like, if she wants to give me work, she will give me work. I will do it. I don't think I need to be asking her for more work when it was like unpaid anyways. Like, why am I going above and beyond first for this? Like, anyways. So yeah, so basically the end of the story is that she basically goes, oh, we can wrap up your internship earlier, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think that was an option, you know? I probably should have just quit. I don't know why I decided to suck it up. Anyways, so she said that she would talk to my supervisor and they would finalize the date in like the next week or so. So basically what happened after that is that she sent a message in the Slack group chat that I'm in for the team that I'm on, and it's on the thumbnail. It's the whole I don't know how you do it on your phone, but on desktop you do this, and to remove a person, and the person in question was me. And yeah, so like 1 minute, so I screenshot this because I get it immediately, and then 1 minute later I get the Slack bot saying that I've been removed from the internship channel. That is the firing story. So also, I don't know if it's a little clickbaity if I was like fired or not, because like it was just like I planned on quitting, but I thought that there was gonna be, she was supposed to reach out to me basically. She said she'd get back to me on a date and then never did. So like, because I was just removed like that with no anything, I guess is like I was fired. But regardless, it definitely left me feeling very frazzled and confused, and I felt like I was the problem, and I just felt guilty. Because also on the call, she seemed angry, and I was a bit like, what are you so angry for? And then she said that she wanted to give the opportunity to a student that wants it more. And I was low-key just like, yeah, I like how you're saying student, because there is no adult that really wants to do this, because it's not a great opportunity because it's unpaid. And yeah, I wasn't learning anything anyways, so it was really stupid, pointless. But yeah, this still left me very frazzled. As you can tell in this video, I'm a mess. Like, all the editing that I made is not to, it's like so jumpy, but that's literally me making it more coherent. I had to move things around because I was just going off topic, and yeah, like, I was just not in the right headspace when I was filming that video, and that's because I immediately filmed that video after that happened. So I think the text happens at like 4:02. I filmed that video at like 4:30, I bet. But yes, sorry. That is it. This is it from me. I will stop popping in. Yeah.
And so, in a way, yeah, it's really interesting because I am being let go, and it was like, it's my first time starting something and then in a way being told I was bad at it, which isn't quite the case, because I don't think you need to take initiative for an paid stipend internship. I mean, I have other things to do. And so, and it's just a really interesting thing that I'm like juggling right now, because yeah, life works in mysterious ways. Like, my minimum wage part-time job that should be not interesting is my favorite thing. I have something in my career, and I have something that's tangentially related to my career, because the creative agency is tangentially related. And yeah, I was, in a way, it was just like the only thing that seemed like professional experience. But now I'm not even putting on my resume because I didn't even go past the month. And yeah, I don't have the work of the YouTuber on my resume as well yet, because it's also been too early to know. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to be let go, and in a way my performance isn't good enough to stay. And I think there's a little bit of guilt within me, even though I know I didn't do anything wrong, because ultimately what the creative agency thing was a test to see if I would take initiative, and I didn't know why I was being tested. And yeah, I just didn't think that I was the right fit anyways, because I did not want to do it anymore. So I guess it worked out, but I can't, it's this weird complicated feeling within me of like, oh, I feel bad because they are letting me go, but also I didn't want to do it. And yeah, it's a really interesting thing to process, because it was the thing I definitely enjoyed the least, but still can't help feeling hurt, I guess. And I don't know. But also, I don't regret saying what I said, and I did not want to continue with it, realistically. I think my lesson from this is that not every single experience is going to be real experience, because the thing is, I bet you it looks good on resume, but I genuinely felt like I wasn't learning anything there that was of value for me personally. Maybe it's where I'm at in my career. I know that they have like a more entry-level position, and I was above that. And so even that position that I had was just not where I wanted to be with my career. It just wasn't worth my time. And yeah, honestly, I could have been the first one to have said something and be like, oh, my question was also that I signed a contract and it was supposed to last for like at least 3 months. So I was just like willing to fulfill it. But you know what? If I'm being let go early, I'm being let go early. And that's just that. And it's really funny how life works, because now, I mean, at the time I had absolutely nothing. So, you know, you'll take what you get. But now that I'm in a better position, I don't have to be as forgiving, I guess. Like, I don't need to feel very desperate about that. And what's really funny is that my tennis job, I'm also going to be operating the social media channels. So if I really want that like creative agency skill set, I also have it while working at the tennis job. And yeah, the most related thing is the second job that I have. And the thing is, I will be honest that this is going to be a roller coaster of a series, because yes, we're calling it Making It, because I have not made it yet. And even once I make it on YouTube, did I say once or if, but even once I make it in the industry, I think I will continue to do YouTube, because when I make it, there will be a lot more fun content that I want to make. It's just not going to obviously be like this anymore. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for where the series will take me, because originally I started Unemployed Diaries to reflect on my life and see that difference between like, yeah, being unemployed to like finally being employed. Obviously, Unemployed Diaries didn't last very long. There were like 4 episodes, which is so funny in the grand scheme of things. And which means I'm also going to change up my shorts. So if you came from my shorts, yes, it's not gonna be Unemployed anymore. It's gonna be the Making It Diaries. I still don't know if that's really the best one. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to think too hard about this. I just want to do and not just think, but...
Don't think big, okay? Okay, don't think big!
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of ups and downs. Definitely... I don't know if this is I think this is a down, technically. But, so the down was being unemployed, and then getting my minimum wage job, creative agent, getting all 3 of those at like once was like okay, and then getting my YouTube job was definitely like high. I think it's just really dramatic how life is. Who knew the very first thing that I got would be the least meaningful experience, but also I guess they're paying me the least. Even throughout the series, we'll see if I ever really make it on YouTube. But yeah, this was a little bit long of a rant, and I guess the main point is this is still gonna be a vlog style video. I think I might do a lot of sit down in the middle of like what's been going on, but I don't know if I have some clips of just everything I've been doing. I think one more reason that I don't want to reveal any information at this moment is because saying that I'm associated with those things are pretty like buzzworthy, but I don't want to be a clout chaser. So I will not talk about it unless I already have my own platform, because then I probably will not be accused of clout chasing, because I would already have my own clout so that I don't need to chase after other people. So yeah, that's like, I think that's one of the main reasons why I will not be sharing as much private information, which is also going to make this really complicated because I do work with famous people and I want to show these parts of my life, but it's, yeah. So basically, if you really are curious, you need to tell your friends and share this video everywhere so that, yeah, you can see the behind the scenes, because I think I have a pretty interesting life, if I'm being honest. This industry is pretty interesting. And I mean, yeah, the process will be very fun. But I'm sorry if this didn't make any sense. This is like the pilot episode, so it's not like the real episode. But yeah, I will try to start compiling some vlogs of my life as someone trying to make it out here in LA in the industry, both as on camera and behind the scenes. And I think I have to blow up on camera first before I can give everything behind the scenes, but I'll try my best. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, that is all for this one, and I hope you are interested in hearing more. Thank you, and bye-bye.